Hey there, Alpha Geeks, and welcome to the next episode of How to Speak Geek, where we're going to be covering basic gamer terms. And remember, no matter what race, gender, or sexual orientation you are, in the eyes of a 12-year-old Call of Duty player, we are all gay. Gamer. An all-inclusive term to describe anyone who regularly engages in video or tabletop gaming, though the percentage of people who participate in games has increased over recent years. There's a certain stigma that still surrounds those elite few who call themselves the true gamers. These are the people you will see getting together for a rousing session of Dungeons and Dragons once a week, or will regularly see planted in front of a TV or computer, immersed in the bliss of gamedom. Gamers are no longer the awkward hermits as the stereotype suggests. We are everywhere, in many shapes and forms. Except mobile. Never mobile. Noob. A word originally intended as harmless, originating from the word newbie. It meant someone who was new to the game and wasn't quite as skilled yet as the other players who'd been playing for longer. These days, it's used by gamers to insult anyone that mildly upsets them during a game, whether it be that person who's playing badly, the person they died near, or a poor person that just happened to exist. Free to play. A group of games that are freely available to anyone. Their goals ranging from allowing as many players in as possible, hoping that some of them will buy the cosmetic extras, to having payment barriers so hostile they might as well swear at you every time you put in your credit card number. Griefer. Aptly named for causing grief. A player in a game that gets their kicks by trolling, blocking, killing, or annoying other players in the game. According to Dante, a future inhabitant of the fifth circle of hell. AAA. Abbreviated by 3 A's and standing for no particular acronym, it is industry talk for a big and amazing game. And since nobody will admit to actively making crap, no one will ever claim below AA. WASD. A conventional control scheme on a US or international keyboard, where W is up, A and D are for strafing, S is for backwards, and most other controls are chosen at random. Dungeon. A specific area filled with monsters and treasure, and occasionally an actual cell. It is never particularly clear who built these things or why, but on the plus side, loot. They are sectioned off areas of the game that can be attempted by yourself or up to 50 players in multiplayer games. They are usually denoted by a change in scenery, an increase in monsters and treasure, and a boss monster at the end. Mob. A single enemy. It made sense at the time. Boss. A particularly tough enemy that proves its wits and tactical savvy by either living in a room designed to kill it, or in a dungeon that contains a weapon which is its only weakness. May also try to charge and headbutt you, despite being knocked unconscious with every failed attempt. Even though a boss has its weaknesses, it is usually a difficult fight, rewarding huge amounts of rare loot once defeated. Class. When the vast possibilities of the universe are condensed into a few easily balanced archetypes, the female variants usually wishing they got proper armor. Your class in a game usually determines what skills, armor, and weapons your character can use. Mana. A pool of energy required to use skills and abilities. Every character has a set amount of mana that replenishes over time. Every skill or ability costs mana to use and becomes unusable when you no longer have enough to afford it. The limited resource that takes all the fun out of being a wizard. Role-playing game. A genre which allows you to explore fantastical worlds of pure imagination, which almost inevitably turns out to be a bit like a Renaissance fair with set character types, and a guaranteed appearance from the undead. It sometimes also takes place in space instead. Adventure. A gaming genre that is mostly point and click, involving wonderful worlds, often hilarious dialogue, epic tales, and mind-bending puzzles that any sane person would solve by taking $20 to the nearest hardware store, instead of stealing from random strangers and whipping up makeshift tools like a medieval MacGyver. Experience. Points gained from completing actions or killing enemies in a game. These points can be used in a variety of ways to make your character stronger. They usually also determine your character's level. Non-player character. A character that is not controlled by the player, but that the player can interact with. Often has a missing dog or cow that you need to find. Also sometimes sells you things. Quest. These are tasks given to you by NPCs in exchange for gold, experience, and sometimes even loot as a reward. A word that began as a suitable descriptor of epic tales of action and adventure, but quickly became the polite way of saying, "Wanna do my errands?" Slay a dragon to save a kingdom. Quest. Kill 10 rats. Quest. Find a lost dog, sister, or ring. Quest. Do someone's shopping. Quest. Buff. A beneficial effect placed on a character to make them stronger or shinier. A debuff is the opposite negative effect. Health potion. A drinkable concoction that can restore health and recover you from the brink of death, if not beyond. Yet, nobody ever remembers about them when a character gets injured in the course of the plot. Farming. The art of standing around and gathering the same item or killing the same monster to progress through the game without having any new experiences or fun. This is usually done to gain a certain rare item or to gain experience from weaker enemies before continuing. Nerf. Your favorite character or weapon sucks now, while everyone else's remains overpowered. This is used to balance multiplayer games, whether online or tabletop. It reduces the power of a certain character or weapon to make it more fair for the other players. Overpowered. The thing that just killed you. See Nerf. This refers to a weapon, character, or ability that the player feels is overwhelmingly powerful, and in some cases may cause the game to become unbalanced. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay geek.
TGC, it's a geek thing.